This is the plaintiff, Yvonne Jenkins. She says she gave the defendant, her former boyfriend, money to hold. Now that they've broken up, she can't get him to give it back. She's suing for $2,220, the money she's owed. This is the defendant, Martin Z. Collins. He says he gave the plaintiff way more than $2,100 when they were in a relationship. And he didn't take kindly to being threatened by her brothers, who said they were going to come and get the money from him themselves. Owe her $2,100? No way. He's accused of not giving it back.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff gave the defendant, her ex-boyfriend, $2,000, and he won't give it back. But the defendant says he doesn't take kindly to being threatened by the plaintiff's brothers, who said they were going to come and get him. It's the case of, I ain't giving you anything back.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ms. Jenkins, how is it that you and Mr. Collins met?
We met through Facebook, actually. Of course, I used to see him under my posts a lot, liking my posts, saying different things. And, I was in school then, so I wasn't ready for a relationship then. So I was moving to Georgia, and I just, I went in his inbox like, hey, too bad that I'm going to move out of state, because he's a good guy, from on Facebook, seeing how he is with his kids and grandkids and what type of father he was and stuff. And, he was a good guy, somebody that, I thought I would be able to date. But so it started.
When did that thought occur to you? Just as you were moving from the state? That's when the thought occurred to you? All right. So how long did you guys date?
About 2 months, 2.5 months.
Okay. Was it long distance the whole time?
Long distance the whole time because I'm a travel nurse, so I was sent out on an assignment as soon as we start dating.
Okay, Ms. Jenkins. So at some point, very, very, very early on, because you started dating him when? End of June? At some point a few weeks later, you decide to hand him $2,100 to hold for you. Why?
Correct. I mean, because, I trusted him. He never gave me that vibe that he would, take it. We were both planning a future together.
Why is he holding money for you? Why don't you hold your own money or have a bank account hold your money? Why are you having him hold money?
Because I'm a big spender. And
okay, so you didn't trust yourself?
Pretty much, yeah.
Why don't you just deposit it in a bank and not go to the bank? That takes an extra effort to go to the bank. Why do you hand it to a guy you've known for 2 weeks instead of giving it to your mother or your brothers who you apparently have a relationship with? Why do you give it to a guy who you've been dating for 2 weeks?
Well, he was going with me to Colombia. That was the plan for him to go with me to get my dental work. So when we found out that he would not get a passport in time, I decided to take my mom.
Why didn't you just give it to your mother? Why wouldn't, my mother would be the person I'd think of. I wouldn't think of a guy I met 2 weeks ago. Mr. Collins, what seems to be the problem? Because according to her, you never returned the money when she asked for it.
Actually, that's not true. I tried many times to offer to mail it to her. It just wasn't in the manner that she was demanding. I never once told her that I wasn't going to give it to her.
And have you mailed it to her?
No, she specifically told me do not do it, which is in those texts, over and over. She kept telling me, no, do not put my money in the mail. You take it to my family member.
I understand that. I've read all the texts, and you kept telling her, well, I'm going to mail it because that's the way I want to do it. And then you didn't mail it either. She would have gotten it by now, and there wouldn't be a court case because months have passed.
Right. I didn't have an address to mail it to. I asked her the address to mail it to. I actually asked her mother for her mother's address as well. But I had no address to mail it to.
So you asked the mother for the mother's address, and what did the mother say? How did you ask the mother? Through text?
Yes, through text message. And she instructed me that Evie told her that if I didn't get a certified money order, take a picture of it. It was just a bunch of stuff that they wanted done to do it that she specifically said, do not mail it. Do not put it in the snail mail. It'll get lost. Do not. Over 30 times I was told, do not put it
Okay.
in the
How
mail.
long did you guys date, Miss Jenkins? How long did you guys date?
It was a little over 2 months.
All right. And why did you guys break up?
Basically because of my occupation. I just didn't have time for him because I was fit to go on another assignment from Texas to Florida, and he kind of got like an attitude when leaving Texas. I went straight home to my son instead of going straight to him. And, you know, like I told him, I've been
So
gone
who
for
broke
30
up
days.
with
I'm
who?
going
Did you
home.
break up with him or did he break up with you?
We both decided, you know, that we did move too fast, and we was just gonna keep it, cordial, going slow with it. And then he was like, okay, cool. So, and this when he brought in that my mom needed a camera for her Bible study Zoom class. And when he mentioned that, and I was like, okay, well, take the money over there to my mom's house and let her buy the camera, and she can deposit the rest into her account. That's when the money
So
really
here's the
came up.
text. First of all, I have to note when I look at this text that instead of having your name, he has my future as your name. That's how he keeps or kept you. Who is that? Him or you? That's you, right?
I have his name like
his
that.
name for you. Oh, you had his name like that. Oh goodness. You say take the whole $2,100 to her. She will put it in her account. I'll have her order her camera, and she can put the rest in her savings for me. And he says, oh, now I'll just app it back to you. I didn't know that's what you meant. So no confusion. I will put it back in your hands. I got you, though. I will send it in a minute. To which you respond in a minute, like within a minute, you respond, I don't have Cash App. She holds my money all the time. And then he tells you I Cash Apped it, right?
Yeah.
And you say to him, I didn't get it because I don't have Cash App.
I don't have Cash App.
Now, this is text between you and the mom. I really don't need, trust me, Mom. I just want her happy. I'm sorry again. Or can I just get a money order and mail it to her or mail it to you? I trust you no matter what, but she is far out there. I just need some confirmation she got her change back, that she's talking about sending her brothers here. Well, now what he's talking about is that he perceived you to be threatening him. Were you threatening him?
No.
Well, here's your text to him. I love to see the anatomy of a lawsuit. I love to see how we got where we got, because the issue in this case is so very simple. You text him and say, I don't have no Cash App, so there's no way you could have sent it. Take my money to my mom's house. And he says, I'm the last that needs anyone's coins, and I never lied to you. If it doesn't go through, I will mail the money order directly, but I'm not giving it to anyone. If she's instructing you to give it to the mom, why wouldn't you just give it to the mom?
When she mentioned about sending her brothers to me, at that point, it was strictly no contact. I was going to put it in the mail to whoever. I just didn't feel comfortable at that point.
It said sent, like I said. If it sends it back to me, I will mail it. You know that's not how it works. You know that if her Cash App is messed up, it immediately tells you that it didn't accept it. That's how that stuff works, because I use it. I use Venmo, I use Cash App. Right. I know how this stuff works, and so do you. It's not if it sent it back. I think what was happening at this point is that your future was no longer going to be your future, and you were kind of mad at her. And you were mad at her tone, and you just decided you say you don't need her coins. I kind of believe you. I don't think you needed her coins. I think you just didn't feel like succumbing to her tone. And you just decided to sit back and tell her, whatever, because we both know that the Cash App immediately tells you that it got rejected. This stuff that you text her just to make her sweat, it's just to make her sweat, right? That's why you said if they send it back to me, I will mail it.
I offered to mail it like 30 times. To put it in the mail.
Yeah, I know. But why are you making a claim? Why are you saying that you had to wait to see if Cash App sent it back to you? Why would you say that?
I was new to Cash App at that time, so I didn't know that it was going to get rejected. But when it did get rejected, like I said, I put that in the text message. It gets rejected immediately.
You see that on your phone. You see that on your phone immediately. You see that on your phone. Okay, so then you text her back. Oh no, I'm sorry. Let's get to your text to him, because I love to see how we end up in court. Okay, now let me have my brothers come and get it. And then in capital letters, I don't want my money in the mail, and someone tried to request the Cash App and it blocked right off. So I know you're lying about it being sent. Put it in the mail is not a sure way to do it. That's the worst way. The better way is to give it to my mom. I don't care about your little threats. You should do that on phone and not text. So in case something happens, it won't be like you sent folks after me. Wow, it's going on here. Do what you feel, Yvonne. Blocking for my safety. And he was just done. Now, I understand that you asked her, let me mail it to you. I understand you didn't want it mailed. As it turns out, you would have gotten it 4 months ago if a money order had been mailed. And of course, that's trackable. So it's not a problem. I mean, yeah, it would be better if he hopped, skipped, and jumped and drove to your mother's, but I don't think he wanted to do that because you dumped him. That's the impression I'm getting. However, it is very hard to look at you, Mr. Collins, and not think that you were just messing with her when you end up not mailing it either. All right, Mr. Collins, guess what? You got to pay the $2,100. You're going to pay her the $2,100. What, in addition, what else are you asking for? You're asking for $120 for what, Ms. Jenkins?
Well, for me to file it, it was $127 for me to file this the papers in court here in Tennessee.
Okay.
That was the filing fee.
You get your court costs and you get your $2,100. But more importantly, I hope you got a little lesson from all this, that maybe that's not the best move on your part, to hand $2,100 that you need to somebody who you've known for 2 weeks. It's ridiculous because he was in love with you. He texts you how he was in love with you, and your answer to him is you fell in love too fast. You know, I mean, yeah, maybe he did, but, you know, him falling in love too fast is something he can get over. Him keeping your $2,100 is a lot more work for you, right? Verdict for the plaintiff, $2,100 plus your court costs. Good luck to everyone.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's find out what Mr. Collins feels about this. Mr. Collins, the judge says you got to give it back. I assume you're okay with it. Am I right?
Yeah, I never had a problem with that in the first place. It was just a matter of not wanting to meet up with any of her family members for my safety and stuff. It wasn't ever about keeping the money or anything like that. So I have no problem with that.
All right. So you got to send it back to her. Ms. Jenkins, you learn anything from all of this experience?
Absolutely, I have. You know, he just tortured me. He knew what he was doing. He could have took it to my mom. You know, he didn't feel threatened at all. But I hated had to go, you know, this far. But hey, I had to get my money back.
You know, he obviously was very impressed with. He was in love with you. Were you feeling that way about him, or not really?
I mean, not really. I mean, I was getting there, but like I said, he was, you know, right off too soon. I wasn't.
All right. Well, I guess it's over forever now.
Yeah.
It's over. Okay, good enough. Well, you're getting your money back at long last. Let's see what the judges think about this. Another session of After the Verdict now, and here they are.
It sounded to me like there was this undercurrent of hurt in his heart that was kind of driving not getting the money back in her hands right away. Like he kind of dragged his feet on getting the money to her, and I definitely wasn't buying this, oh, the Cash App wasn't working. And
yeah, he should know that. Well, the Cash App wasn't working, but he should know that, and she told him within 30 seconds not to do it that way.
Right, but it was almost like, you know, I don't want the dirty money. There's these text messages back and forth where he's constantly saying, yeah, I'm ready to give you the money, I'm ready to give you the money.
I think he wanted her to come and get it.
You know what, I think you just hit on it. That's probably what it was. And it wasn't, you know, give it to my mom. No, I can't do that. Have my brothers come by. No, you're threatening to have them beat me up. It was.
Yeah, he thought if he made it a little more difficult, she would come and get it, and maybe he could talk her out of the problem.
But you don't give $2,100 to somebody you've known for 6 weeks. You know, no matter who it is. I'm gonna wait a little while, make sure.
Yeah, make sure this thing has legs.
Yeah, make sure it's gonna last.
I don't get it. Why don't you just put it in a bag? I mean, I understand that people sometimes have compulsive spending habits. Right. I understand that. But wow, why do you pick the guy you've known 2 weeks? Oh, because I didn't have a vibe, it would be a problem. Yeah, because that's the point. You don't get a full vibe in 2 weeks.
Right.
That is exactly the point.
Right, and who better to watch your own money than you, right?
Yeah, or your mom, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nutty.
Right, couldn't agree more.
So Sally wants to know this. Hey, Harvey, my landlord refuses to test for black mold, and I am not allowed to do it on my own without landlord approval. Do I test for it and sue the landlord for the cost? Or do I sue the landlord to make him get it tested? Well, here's the problem. If you have a lease that says you're not allowed to do it, you really can't. But if there is black mold and he refuses to investigate, I think you may have grounds to actually end the lease because you have a right to a healthy place and black mold doesn't provide that. We'll see you next time.